So what you can say, today we are going to see generic servlet. What is generic servlet and why we have to use a generic servlet? Okay, so in the previous program what you have seen, java p space java x dot servlet dot servlet. Servlet is an interface, right? If a class implements an interface, then all the methods must be overridden. All the methods must be overridden, right? So in this servlet we are having 5 methods: init, get servlet config, service, and get servlet info, and destroy method. So if a class implements a particular interface, all the methods must be overridden, right? So servlet, what is the user defined class is doing? It's implementing that particular servlet user defined class, right? So here it's implements, whereas what you can say, we are having one more abstract class known as generic servlet, which is a abstract class. So if you see java p space java x dot servlet dot generic servlet, it's a abstract class which implements the servlet interface. Means all the methods of servlet, say this is an abstract class, right? Generic servlet, which implements the servlet, okay? So all the methods of servlet are present in this particular generic servlet, and in this, among these all the methods, only the service method is abstract. So if a user defined class extends generic servlet, compulsory he has to override only the abstract service method, whereas these other methods are optional. Based upon requirement you can override them. So instead of extending this particular interface, implementing this interface, we are extending a abstract class. So what you can say, a servlet is implemented by a generic servlet, and that particular user defined servlet, here you can say user defined servlet extends generic. User defined servlet extends generic servlet. Okay, yes or no? So this is what, this you can say it as generic servlet. So what is it we are going to see? We'll see how to store the details from servlet to a database. Okay, we'll create a directory structure for the registration application. So you can say here registration application. In this registration application, you will be having a folder known as, first thing is web.inf. In that web.inf we are having two folders named as classes and lib. Okay, and we have one more file known as web.xml, right? So first thing, in the root folder we have one more file known as, yeah, you can say I will take it as index.html. So what is the difference it makes, you will see at the time of output why we have taken index.html. Now that particular web.inf is under root folder, right? And this web.inf consists of three things known as classes, lib, and web.xml. Classes, lib, and web.xml. Okay, so these are directory structure for the registration application. So in the web apps we will create a folder first of all. Okay, see it clearly. So what is it, you can say registration application, right? In this registration application we will create a folder. First, what is the directory structure, you can say we have web.inf, right? So we will create a folder with the name known as web-inf. Okay, next in the web.inf we are having classes and one more thing known as lib. Okay, so here you can say what the classes consist of. The classes consist of a file known as registration servlet dot class, registration servlet dot class, and the lib will be having a jar file known as ojdbc 14.jar file, because we are communicating with the database, right? So these files must be present, and this file I am saving it in web apps registration application, and you can say name it as directory structure, so that user can understand the flow of that particular application. Clear? So now according to the directory structure we have to place the particular files. So before that, if you are communicating the database, in the database we have to have the table. What is that? Table for the particular registration application, right? So start run SQL command line, you can say connect system by manager. Okay, so before creating the table directly in the database, open a particular notepad file, create table. What is the table name we are using? Registration. Okay, and the table have columns, right? So what are the table columns you have taken? First name, you can say varchar2 of 20. Okay, or you can say last name varchar2 of 20. Next, what you can say, we are taking age, number of 10. Okay, and what is the next thing you can say? Last, you can say phone. Okay, so that again number, again it will be some 10 or 15 you can take. Okay, close this part. Now save it as what? Registration data, registration table. Okay, where in the web apps registration application, here directly you can save this particular file, registration table. Now copy this, open the particular database, paste it. What is it, number 15. So create table registration, and the table is created, right? Next, what you can say, I have to insert the values from the servlet. So first thing, we have to write a index.html, and after that registration servlet dot class we have to generate, right? So the index.html should contain the text box related to the particular database table. So how many columns we are having? First name, last name, age and phone number, right? So total of 4 columns are there. So total of 4 text box must be there in the particular registration index.html. In the application registration index.html, it has 4 text boxes, right? So we'll write a particular index.html. Say first tag will be html, next will be body tag, and the body tag you can say bg color is wheat, next center, or you can say font space action equals to that particular URL. So dot slash register, dot slash register. Okay. Next, what you can say, first is first name, right? So what is the first name you can say? Input type equals to text, and name equals to, you can say f name. Okay. Next, last name. So what you can say, input type equals to text, name equals to L name. Okay. Next, after that, what you can say, age, input type equals to text, name equals to age. Next, phone number. What is it you can say, input type equals to text, name equals to phone, right? And the last thing will be input type equals to submit, and value equals to register, right? Next, close that particular form tag, close the particular center tag, then the body tag, then the HTML tag, and save this file as what? In the web, in the root folder, index.html. Check the particular file by opening with the browser. Say right click, open with the browser. You got the particular details in a line by line format, right? If you want in a row wise, what do you have to do? Use the table tags. Okay. So now, and next, what you can say, I have to write the registration servlet class. Here we are going to use the generic servlet instead of using the interface, servlet interface. Okay. So first thing, import java.io.star for print writer. Next, import java.sql.star for the SQL. Import javax.servlet.star for the servlets. These 3 packages are mandatory. Then the class must be public, class registration servlet extends generic servlet. It's an abstract class which implements the servlet interface. In the generic servlets we has a method known as service, which is the only method which is abstract. Now inside the class, what are the lifecycle methods? Init, service and destroy. So we have to write the three methods. We have to override the three methods in order to establish a connection with the database, request and response processing, and generating the dynamic web page. Okay. So now what you can say? First, public void init. Okay. So before writing the particular variables, say what is it? Servlet config. What is the object? Config object. So what is the first thing we have to do? In the init method we have to load the driver, then establish the connection. For loading the driver we have class dot for name. What is the for name? You can say oracle dot jdbc dot driver dot oracle driver, right? Then what you can say? Yeah, at the last it is. Then what you can say? You have to write connection con equals to. But if I write connection con here, it will be local, right? It will be local. The scope will be right till that particular block itself. But I want to use it in the service also. I want to use it in the destroy also. So instead of declaring this thing inside the init method as a local variable, declare it inside the class. Inside the class. And what you can say? Con equals to null. And if you want, you can declare the other things also. So what you can say? Prepared statement ps equals to again null. Right? Next what you can say? Con equals to driver manager dot get connection. So JDBC is the API, Oracle is the database, Thin is the driver name, @localhost is the machine where we have the particular database, then 1521 is the port number, and XE is the service name. The username is system and the password is what? Manager, right? Then this is the establishing, loading the driver and establishing the connection. So request and response processing is done in the service method. And what I said, whenever you are using a particular database methods, you have to write compulsory try catch. So if you want, you can write the 2 try catch blocks or only 1 try catch. So what is that exception you can say? I can say SQL exception. This generates SQL exception, or the superclass of all the exceptions is what? Exception. E, right? So E dot print stack trace. E dot print stack trace. Okay? Clear? So this is what you can say. Init method for establishing the connection. Next, public void service method, where you can say servlet request and response object are generated by the servlet engine. So request comma servlet response object, and it throws IO exception, or you can say first what you can say servlet exception and IO exception, right? Where we have to write the request dot get parameter to get the values from the index.html, right? From the index.html I have to gather 4 values, right? So how to gather those 4 values is nothing but you are writing the request dot get parameter where the parameter, first parameter is what? First name. So what you can say here directly, you can say string f name equals to request dot get parameter. Next again string l name equals to request dot get parameter. What is it you can say again? Copy paste it, don't type it, copy paste the particular string from the index.html to the Java code, right? Next again string s equals to request dot get parameter of, you can say, age. So now that age must be converted to integer. So we have int age equals to integer dot parse int, which converts the string to integer, right? So we have one more value, right? What's that? Phone number, right? So string p equals to request dot parameter of, what you can say, phone, of the phone, right? Next, now I have to convert it again to phone number. So phone equals to integer dot parse int. The string is converted to integer. This is what? Gathering the values from the HTML. Now where we have to send? We have to send it to the database. So we have a particular interface known as prepared statement. In that prepared statement we are having execute update and execute query. That execute update is nothing for insert, update and delete commands. So I want to insert the values, right? So you can have this particular execute update. So first we have to create the prepared statement object, then you can call the execute update method. So we have to write the try block if you are using a database method, right? So what you can say, ps equals to con dot prepare statement, con dot prepare statement. In that we are writing the command, say insert into, what's the table name we have taken? The registration is nothing but the table name. Yes or no? Copy the table name. Just copy and paste it. Registration. In that values, how many placeholders must be placed? 4. Because how many values we are retrieving? 4 values. Right? Yes or no? Now I have to send the values, right? Already the values are gathered in this particular variables f name, l name, age and phone. Not s and p. S are integer strings. S and p are strings. We have converted them into integers in age and phone. Now how to send the values? The order of the particular values must be same as the database table. Say here the first column is representing the first name, second column representing the last name. So the index will be 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? So in that order only you have to follow the particular values. So ps dot set string of 1 comma f name, because the first column is what? First name. ps dot set string of 2 comma l name. ps dot set int of 3 comma age. ps dot set int comma 4 comma phone. 4 comma phone, right? So these things are sending the values. Yes, until unless I call the method known as ps dot execute update. Execute update, whose return type is what? Integer. So int res equals to ps dot execute update. ps dot execute update. Now I have to display a message that registration successfully done, right? When if res not equals to 0, if res not equals to 0, what you can say? Yeah, before that we require the print writer object, right? Response dot get writer. So here you can use say out dot println html tag body tag bg color equals to, in single quotes only we have to write v, then center h1, right? Next out dot println, what you can say, res place, or you can say directly you'll say registration done successfully, right? Then what you can say, out dot println, close the tags h1 center body html, body and html, right? Close this part. Then what you can say, try block can be closed. We can write a catch block where we can write the exception class e. Here we can say directly e dot print extract trace, right? So this is what try catch, in that if we have written if res not equals to 0, registration done successfully, right? Next what you can say, close the service method. Before closing, if you want to close, say out dot close, you can write yes or no. Next what you can say, we will be having destroy. What is it? Destroy. So public void destroy, where you have to close, say again try catch, because I am using the methods of close of the database. What you can say, con dot close or ps dot close and con dot close. Then again catch block exception e dot print stack trace, right? Close the particular destroy and the class. The entire thing you can save by the name known as registration servlet, by the name known as registration servlet. Save the file here in the web.xml classes registration dot java, registration dot java. Now copy this part, in that next F drive CLS, what is that, java c space, what is the file name, you can say registration servlet dot java, registration servlet dot java. Just enter. Cannot find symbol response. Why? Because here we might have written wrongly as rep. So now if you compile it again, got that particular dot class file correctly, right? Next we have to write the web.xml. So what is the web.xml consist of? Web hyphen app. In that first servlet tag. The servlet tag first consists of registration name is nothing but servlet name. So what is that you are doing? Registration, right? Then close the particular servlet name and the tag. Then the servlet class. So what is the servlet class? You can say directly copy paste it, don't type it. So copy it here and paste it here. After that, close the tag servlet class. Next, servlet tag is closed. Next, we have one more tag known as servlet mapping, right? So in this we require the servlet name, right? Just copy that name and paste it here, right? Then we have URL pattern. URL pattern. What's the URL pattern? Is nothing but whatever you have written in the index.html. Okay, just copy this thing, copy and paste, right? Next, URL pattern. Then close this part servlet mapping. Then close this particular web app. Okay, yes or no? Now save the file as what? web.xml in the web.inf. In the web.inf, we have to check the particular web.xml is written correctly or not. How to check that? Just right click, open with Internet Explorer. Now what will happen if you get the code correctly? Means you are writing the web.xml clearly, right? All the things are correct or not? Next, what you can say, in that lib we have to check whether OJDBC 14 is there or not. There is no OJDBC 14, right? So in C drive you have Oracle, ORACLEXE, or app, Oracle product 10.2.0 server, and JDBC lib. You have to copy this particular jar file in this lib folder, and here you have to paste it. Okay, so you have to check all the parameters are present or not. First, index.html is there, table we have created, then classes dot class file is there, then lib OJDBC 14 is there, and web.xml is working fine. So all the parameters are covered, right? Now what you can say, we have to on the particular Tomcat. So Apache Tomcat in bin Tomcat 7. So what is the URL pattern you have to type? You can say http://8088/ the registration name. So what is the registration name? You can say is nothing but the application name, right? In web apps you have the application name. Just copy this thing and paste it. Okay, and the slash. This much is enough for the particular application. Why? Because we have given the HTML file as index.html. So when you run this particular application, by default a HTML file will be called. What's the HTML file? By default is called index.html. So instead of writing the index.html, directly by defaultly it will be called. Okay, so now copy the entire path. Just check the server is running completed. Yes, it has been completed. Next, what you can say, save this part and localhost :808/registration application, right? So everything is correct, then you will get the application. Okay, assuming the flow, we are giving a name. Okay, next the age and the phone number, right? And say register. Then the registration done successfully. If you want to check it in the database. Okay, open the particular database. Say select star from registration. Select star from registration. Then what will happen? if you are getting the values correctly, say Rohit Yadav 24 and the name number, so it's done clearly, right? So this is how we are sending the particular values from a HTML to a database using a server side programming, that is nothing but servlets. Okay, and the most important point is nothing but, first you have to follow the flow, is nothing but create the database, the columns and the particular text box must be same. Then after that, the classes, you are retrieving the particular values from the database, okay, in any order if you retrieve, but the order of sending the values must be same as the database. The database is having the first column as f name, we can send it, the f name is only the first value, second L name, third age, fourth phone number. If the values are updated, in the sense it's inserted, means you can say registration done successfully message will be coming, right? So this is how you execute a servlet to database. Clear?